No.
Okay, it happens a lot because we don't use them all.
I looked down and I saw three 160s and I was like, what am I doing?
Okay, hang
I
on
think
a
it's fine.
second. Okay, we're live. Okay, so we'd like to welcome you to Fabric Chicks Live on Monday. So today, Mondays, we tend to do demos, but I'm not making any promises today. No, I have a demo set up. Gracie just popped in and wanted to know what she could do to help her mommy out. So Gracie is madly putting numbers on things for panels and different things that we're going to show you. It's kind of crazy. We just got back from Gracie had to get her very own Edward Jones account. So we had to go take care of that paperwork. So we just got back. So we're running kind of frazzled. Like always. Hey, Ann, Sue, my gosh, I just read your email. 2023 was hard for a lot of people. It was kind of crazy, but hopefully our fingers are crossed that the world is going to get back on its axis and we're going to straighten up and things are going to be better. But big hugs because I know it's crazy. Brenda, pay attention to driving, not to us. But it's okay to listen. Just don't watch because you might see us show something and then you like look at your phone because you're like, oh, I got to order it. And then you try to text it in because you want to be the first one. Don't do that. Don't. No, Gracie says don't text and drive, even though she does like every day. So Gracie's here to help. If some of you are new, you might not know Gracie. Gracie's our littlest one. Hey, Susan and Stephanie, and happy Monday. Yes. Sue, I actually got a Christmas card the other day, and it was very similar to the cards that you've gotten, where life has been crazy, like crazy things are happening. And I don't know how to write. I don't know how to make this world get back in balance. But we'd like to welcome everybody to Fabric Chicks. This is, here, I'm going to put this on in case Mary gets on. Hang on a second. I'm going to update the banner. It is the 22nd today. So today is Monday the 22nd. We are going to continue on with demoing the bedazzling and the thread painting. I did add a bedazzle sunflower class to the schedule in February. So if you think you might want to try it, I'm going to show you the sunflower that would be great for that. Because they're a lot of fun. Mary Beatty says, Gracie! Yes. Sue, I think that it kind of does help us when things are off balance. Sewing helps keep us sane-er. I'm not going to say sane, but sane-er. Okay, let me see if I missed any comments at the top. Okay. I've been like, hey, Anita. Hi, Carolyn and Kathleen. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, Joyce and Phyllis and everybody, Victor, June, welcome everybody. Okay, let's see. Everything is crazy. Okay, so on Friday we demoed how to do the thread painting sunflower on the long arm. So I'm going to show you right here what it looks like all finished. I have not put a stretcher bar. What I'll do is I'll sew a sleeve here at the bottom and put a big piece of metal that you get at Home Depot on the bottom so that it will make it hang flat. I was contemplating stapling it to the painter's stretcher bar so that it would be really tight. But we are in the quilting business, so it always is hard for me to put it on a stretcher bar because that's not really quilting. But it will help it to lay flatter. But here is the final piece. I got the binding on and everything. I can't decide if I want where I want to be the top and the bottom. We haven't finished. If that's you calling, just leave a message and we'll call you back after this live. So this is what I did on Friday. You can go back and rewatch it. All I did was layer different fibers. This here is like what your oranges might come in. Your apples come in this one here. And then some green burlap. Oops, look, I forgot a pin in there. And I just thread painted it to give it embellish, to give it dimension. So that's the final project. And I honestly don't know which way is up, down, or sideways. So I think I've got it on there sideways, but I don't think it honestly matters. You can see here, if you look really closely, you can see where the two panels have been seamed together. So in order to get this panel to be 44, I think it's 44 by 48, it's two panels sewn together. So there's a right sunflower and a left sunflower, and we have a couple of panels that are like that. Gracie, are there any comments we need to read? Inside the center here, you can see I left some of the fabric plain. I didn't cover it all, but here I took the yarns that you guys get in the, we sell the variety of yarns. I took that, I put it, sandwiched it in between wash away, and then you can see the black is where I stitched over it to hold it all together. And then I washed away the wash away and sewed it on top of the sunflower.
How would it work if you use a domestic sewing machine?
Oh, I'm going to show you momentarily. I've got that all set up. Who said that? Stephanie, I'm going to show you that. You can totally do this on your domestic sewing machine. Many people have, in fact, done it on their domestic sewing machines. I'm going to show you a couple of more samples real quick. These two are, this is one that I taught at Quilt Show Reno and maybe at Road to California. But all I did here, we didn't do any of the embellishing with the silks. We just took the panel and did thread painting. So this original panel is, do you have that poppy panel? Mm-hmm. So this panel was originally this one. And Gracie's numbered them all because she wants shoe money. So this was the original panel, S128 for $13. This is the original panel. Is that dog getting you, Gracie? Does Dad have you backed into a corner? This is the original panel. And then this was just a couple of the flowers cut out and then fused onto the green background. And then I used the silks for the binding just to try something different. So this is an easy project you can do. Everybody who's done this has done it on a domestic machine. Just some fun thread painting. We do have another poppy panel, which is similar to this one. It's not the same exact poppy, but it's similar to this one. But you can see how they've done the thread painting. This size is great for you to learn control of your domestic machine. So we do have S129. S129 might be upside down.
I wasn't quite sure which direction that went
well,
in.
the stems do not come out of the air. Just FYI. So it's really like this. So even if you just love the artwork and want to make table placemats with these or anything fun, you can cut them, do thread painting, cut them out, and then sew them onto a jacket. All kinds of things you can do with these. These are smaller, so if you're not quite sure you want to tackle something like the big sunflower, you could easily do these poppies. S129 is the panel that we just showed. Whoops. Roger's trying to get back out of our space. The problem is we haven't cleaned up last week's sale yet because people are still ordering. So if you want to do a smaller sunflower, you can show it, Gracie.
No, I'm just going to fold it.
Oh, if you want to do did you put a number on it?
Yeah.
If you want to do a smaller sunflower that might be more manageable, you could totally do this one. And what Stephanie did, so all of these panels, not the poppies, but all of these, you can tell which ones are frond. You can turn this into a pillow and use the other half as the backing. And I'll show you an example of that in a second, not with the sunflower. S09 is for the smaller sunflower. I actually just took this one and thread painted it. No silks or anything, just the thread paint. But somebody bought it from me. So S09 is for just the smaller sunflower. But I'm going to show you.
Is 129 the poppies on the green wall quilt?
Is 129 what?
Is 129 the poppies on the green wall quilt?
They're similar to this one. S129, the poppies are similar. They're not the exact poppies because the ones that we did with this many years ago is gone, but these poppies are similar. But then this one here, these poppies here, they're a little bit more loose. That's from this panel, S128. S128. And that
doing a kit for the sunflower.
Okay, sort of. I did put together this morning an embellishment bag for this big sunflower. I did not measure out all the silk, so I think that I put in plenty. But just depending on, sometimes I teach a class and everybody gets the same kit. And some people want 5,000 silks on it, and some people want 10. So I did an embellishment kit with like probably 20 yards of silks for that. But I'll show you that in a minute. So just to give you some more examples of this, there's a pillow under here. So I went around the shop. This is why the shop always is a disaster zone, because I literally go through and tear everything apart so that you can see it for the demos. So this panel here is like the sunflower one that I just showed you, but it's this one, I believe. So this is the front. You can see that I did some red and black silks on it, and then just some loose yarns that I sewed. I just kind of couched them on. I didn't use the wash away. I might have used the wash away. I don't know. It's been so long. And then I put the Swarovski crystals in the center. So that's this panel before I bedazzled it. It looked like this. So S11 is S11. This is the panel that turned into this pillow. And we do have a kit here. The kit includes the silks and the embellishing. It does have some wash away in there, it looks like, and the directions. So if you want to do something really kind of a small scale, but with the embellishments, on this one, I did put wash. I pinned all of the silks on there, and then I put wash away on top of it so that the silks wouldn't get caught in my foot. The reason I don't prefer that, I prefer getting caught in the foot and having to snip it, is because it's almost impossible to wash away all the glue from the wash away. You can see there's a little bit of glue there. I could go in and get it wet and really work on it to get the wash away all gone. But the other thing, the reason I don't like the wash away on top when you're doing something like this is you're sewing blindly. You can't see the petals so that you know where you want to, what direction you want to sew. You're just sewing on top of the wash away, which you can't see the panel. So good luck. So S130 is the kit for this pillow with the silks and different things for $34. And then if you want just the panel for that big red flower, it's S11. And that will make the pillow. But you can always turn it into something else if you want. It could be the back of a vest. You could totally turn it into the back of a vest. And then we have,
It says to use the clear wash away.
oh, you totally could. The wash away that's like vinyl for embroidery, you totally could. I never even think to use that because it takes longer to wash. I used it once and it took longer. I was making pine needles and it took forever to like get it it all to dissolve. So I just never use that. I always use the one that is kind of like cloth. Okay. Connie, it's good to see you. So I have a couple of more thread painted projects to show you. We have this little bird one that we taught. I don't know where we taught it last year. Maybe the Quilt Show Reno. Here. So what we did is and when I'm doing something, I'm experimenting. So I just built this little grid with the silk ribbons and then made a little nest out of the fibers. There's a tree here that I did. I probably would not make it so busy so that the bird would really pop and the tree would pop, but it was an experiment. So we do have that kit. Oh, we do have that kit, but we have no idea the price. I have no idea. We'll have to look that up. So we do have the kit for the bird, but we have no idea what the price is. I don't even know where we would look it up. Maybe there's more upstairs. I think there's more kits upstairs from the class. Okay, so then we have the sunflower. This is a good one for you, and we do have a class for this February 23rd. So that should give everybody time to get kits. February 23rd, and did I give you the panel in case they want just the panel or just the kit?
I haven't seen.
Okay, I'll go. So we do have this kit. And it is a class February 23rd from 9 to 1. From 9 to 1. And $95 includes the kit and the class. So if you want to do a fun class that's kind of an introduction to bedazzling panels, this is a great one for you. If you're local, you can take our classes in the shop. You just have to let me know. And otherwise, it is available via Zoom. So we have this panel. We have the kit here, S131. If you want the kit and not the class, if you want just the kit, S131 is $49, and that includes, oh, somebody folded the panel so tiny in there. It includes the tearaway, the stabilizer, the yarns, the embellishing, the wash away, a little bit of stuffing because I did take right here, I stuffed some silks to create that little blossom. And I'm going to go rip the panel.
Questions.
Okay, I'm going to rip the panel off the wall so you can see what it looked like originally.
Perfect. Is S11 and S130 kit the same amount of fabric? I'm going to assume yes.
Which one?
S11 and S130.
What
I want
was
to say that's a pillow.
S11 and S130. S11 is just the panel. The kit also includes the silks and the wash away. The kit includes the kit includes silks, yarns, the Swarovski crystals, the wash away, and the pattern, in case you don't want to take the class. If you have taken the sunflower class before, so a lot of you have already taken this class with me, but if you wanted to work on something else, if you've already done this, like if you're a first timer, you really need to do this one. But if you've already done this one and you just want to take the class and do something else, but you want us to kind of hold your hand, it's $20 for returning students, February 23rd from 9 to 1. So this is what the panel looks like originally. Here, hold this up for me. Well, Gracie's throwing things at us. This is what it looks like originally, and then this is what it looks like bedazzled. Is he still? Are you still showing?
No.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So here, these ones we've shown. Okay, then another sample that we have. I'm just trying to show you all the samples so you know what you really can do. So this is a background canvas that we've just thrown paint on. A lot of people are using this canvas to do the Sophie Standing Bison. It is a 10-ounce canvas. You just flick and throw paint on it. We did just get a wide back that I think is going to be absolutely gorgeous for this kind of thing. But if you need the canvas, we do have the canvas available. But this here, Gracie, can you show them this? Let's see. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this panel here, S03, here, go on this side of me so that they can see. This here is this panel. So you can see how, here, get up closer so they can really see the bedazzling.
Okay.
So you can see how it kind of just gives it depth and brings it to life. And then S03 is the panel. Okay. I bought a secondhand denim shirt to embellish. Do I embellish the small panel before applying to the shirt? What do I do to attach it to the shirt? Okay, so Brenda, she bought a secondhand denim shirt to embellish. Do I embellish the small panel before applying it to the shirt? What do I use to attach it to the shirt? So I personally would do the thread painting first, just because you're going to have a mess. When you thread paint, I don't know if we don't have one that's not finished. So you know how the back is not going to be super pretty. You might have a tearaway stabilizer and you can't get all the stabilizer out. You're just going to have loose threads where you start and stop. The back is going to be messy. So I personally would do my thread painting first. And then I would applicate that. You can either fuse it to your denim shirt. You could fuse it to it and then just stitch around it so that when you wash it, it's not going to come up, peel up on the edges. And you would just have the one big line attaching it to your shirt. I might sew a couple more lines on the shirt so that it doesn't get bunchy when you wash it. Just like when you're quilting, you want to stabilize it. But I would totally do most of the thread painting before I put it on the shirt. Okay, I'm driving and not making sense. Time again on the 24th. It's the 23rd. Sue, I'm going to make it the 24th so it's on Saturday because you work Friday, right? Stephanie, is that going to mess you up if we do this sunflower class on the 24th so it's Saturday? Because Sue works on Friday. The 24th is Sue, I always forget that you still work. Maybe because you've retired 18 times, but you keep going back. Okay, let me know if that works. If the Stephanie, let me know. I'm going to move it right now to the.
Oh, that's good for me.
Okay, I'm going to move it to Saturday the 24th because I love to work my weekends. 9 to 1 p.m. Okay. Okay, let's. Perfect. Okay. If it's not good with anybody, let me know. So if we have everything from before, then it's yes, Linda, ABC. Yes. So for people who have taken the class before and want a refresher or just want to be in the class, it's $20. What kind of paint? So, for the bedazzling, honestly, for flicking on the canvas, any paint. You can go back to our YouTube channels or Facebook and you can watch us. I just posted one on our Facebook page last week because some people were nervous about painting for the Sophie Standing Bison class. So you can use any kind of fabric paints, acrylic paints, any kind of paint. Like I have a box of paints upstairs. If you're new to watching, we get weird random stuff donated at our back door all the time. Just not really donated, but dropped off. And so I use toll paints, I use acrylic paints, I use fabric paints. I use anything that's going to stick to the fabric. I don't care, especially on a wall hanging, because I'm never going to wash it. It's never going to be washed. So just any kind of paint. I water it down to get it very like milky. You want it to be very, very watered down. So your background canvas, you're going to get that wet. Get your background canvas wet first, and then any kind of paints watered down. And we just like kindergarten, flick it on, smush it around. If you've ever taken a class with Sophie Standing, well, if you haven't taken a class with Sophie Standing, you need to sign up for her next one. We're doing a bison right now. But she literally will throw her canvas. She throws it on the ground. She does all of her flicking and splattering on the ground. I'm too old for that, and I'm not in that good a shape. So getting up off the ground isn't always that pretty. So I do it on a table because I don't care if the table gets paint on it. I usually try to do it outside so that the paint doesn't get all over stuff. But if you watch in that video, Roger and Gracie both had brand new shoes on, white shoes. And Gracie and I were flicking paints all over, and they both wrecked their stuff. So you do want to be a little bit careful, but I never worry about it because, you know, I'm still wearing the same clothes from 1980. Okay. No again for kit and class for sunflower. No again.
I read that comment too. I was confused.
Okay, Susan, what are you really asking? The class and the kit are $95. So the kit, everything you need for the sunflower except for your backing, I believe, but everything to do the thread painting for the top of the quilt. Can you grab the underneath, no, the electrical cord to plug in? It says my battery's running low. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna see what things I missed. This is the problem with you guys not being like right here live, asking me the questions. I will try not to skip anybody. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll go back and reread the comments where you guys are, yes, this, no, that. Do you have two of the small sunflowers? The pillows? The two small, I think Rhonda wants the two small sunflowers that were in the pillows. You got this one already, Rhonda. Kathleen, they are so gorgeous. How much on the small sunflower? Can you find a small? 13. The small sunflower was 13. Oh gosh, I thought you didn't sell your stuff. Charity, I don't. Until I sell everything, until I sell all the patterns. But what happened with that sunflower that I did sell is we sold out of all the panels, and we auctioned it or something. We sold it. And then Stephanie reprinted it. It's very similar but different. Very similar but different. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to show you guys more. So you're probably going to change your minds. Are you doing kits for the sunflower? Okay. Poppy is on the green wall quilt. I have no idea what the green wall quilt is, Mary Vitti. Hey, Sherry, it's good to see you. Okay, let's see. How would it, crystal art that looks, okay. Okay, I'm going to just go down to the bottom comments because I don't know, there's too many crazy comments up top. Number for the sunflower kit in class. The sunflower kit in class. Just Susan, I don't think we numbered the kit in the class. I'll do that for Wednesdays. Because we were at the Edward Jones guide too long, so we didn't really get organized for this. But I do want to just show you guys some more options for different smaller flowers. This one, Brenda, might be really good to cut out, thread paint and cut out for a denim jacket or a denim shirt because the scale of the flowers is better. So S38, this one you could also cut out all these different flowers and then put them onto a canvas. I think they would really, really pop. But these ones I think would be great on a jacket or even jeans if you're smart enough to know how to cut your jeans apart at the seam. You could really bedazzle it. S38. I'm not a super big fan. I love Stephanie, and I think everything she does is amazing. I just think that this background is a little bit darker than I would like so that the flowers really pop. S38. This one is one of my favorites. We don't even have all of these up in the shop because there's just not enough room. S07 is $13. This one would be great. You could do the yarns in the center and then do the embellishments with the silk ribbons. She had one very, very similar to this. It was a big sunflower. It was like a big sunflower field. We actually put it on the back of a vest that I wore to shows. And Cindy Thompson actually bought it off my hot, sweaty body. But Charity, I only sold it to her because we sold the last of the sunflower panels. S07. And these, let me just show you these smaller ones first, and then I'll show you the double ones. S06. And if you're here for the demo, we're going to do the demo shortly. S06. It was definitely upside down.
Okay, how would you know that?
Because see how the leaf is going down?
Some leaves go up.
Well, it could go up. I think it goes out any which way you want.
I think it goes the other way.
Maybe it goes this way. I like it best this way. S06. S06. It can go
my way was
any way your heart desires. And the thing I love about Stephanie's panels, and sometimes we don't think about it because we think, oh, it's a big flower. We have to do something with that flower. But you could totally cut this and use it as yardage in a quilt. You could do a big window box if you wanted to keep it somewhat whole. But even if you cut it, you know all the colors are going to go together. So you could use it in a jelly roll quilt. You can use it in anything. I personally wouldn't because I don't want to cut up all of her artwork. If you're not following Stephanie Brandenburg, she owns Frond Design Studios. She has the most incredible artwork. I think it's one of the most artistic fabric lines that we have access to. Most fabric companies don't want to take the gamble on something so artsy, but it's probably my favorite fabric line. S04 is for this one. And it used to, this is a reprint, but she did a whole Mardi Gras series, New Orleans series that was absolutely fabulous. And then here is S05 is the iris and the calla lily, I think. I believe it's, you guys always correct me because my flowers are wrong, but I believe this is an iris and a calla lily. An iris and a calla lily. S05. And then the big ones that you guys have been waiting for. Did you pin them together?
Yeah, be careful. There's
okay.
Yeah.
S67.
They might not go too well.
Okay.
Right out of pins.
Okay.
Give me a break.
Okay, here.
Okay, it worked just fine.
Okay, let me just do it this way so we don't pull it apart.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Okay, this is S67. So this would be a great one. It's gonna be this. if you quilt it, it'll turn out the same size as the big sunflower. So this is the companion to that. So if you really wanted to, if you've got a big wall, I was looking in my house. I could do it going up the staircase, but I think the series of these would be really fun to do in a living room or a kitchen. So this is the iris.
Stop lifting it.
Sorry, but your dad's not moving down to get it all in the frame.
Oh,
Okay, S67 is the iris. And then this one, I'm not sure what its name is. This one was already sewn together.
Yeah, both of them are.
Karen did that for me like years ago. I was supposed to get this one quilted years ago. So this one's already been seamed down the center so that I can just go in and embellish it. I don't really know what flower that is, but one of you will type it in. What's the number for it, Gracie?
Mom, I can't see that.
S66. S66. And then the sunflower S78. And so if you're new to watching, we always do it a little bit less expensive on the lives than in the shop because we like to reward you for watching the lives. S78. So this here is what the sunflower looked like. S78 is, this is what it looked like before. Here, come over here so they can see it next to here. So this is what it looked like before we bedazzled it. Before we threw all those silks and glitter and fun things on it, this is what it looked like just plain. So if you wanted to not put bedazzling stuff on it, you could totally leave it plain and turn it into the center of a quilt for your bed, or put it on stretcher bars, anything your heart desires. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you real quick. We do have silks here. We have silks and yarns here, but before we do that, I'm going to show you real quick the, I see them. Demo, I'm going to show you how to thread paint on your domestic machine. We're going to come in here real quick. Okay, so I have the poppy here, and I'm just working on, you're going to definitely need to stabilize your fabric. You can either put a tearaway stabilizer under it, or wash away, or whatever your favorite stabilizer is. I recommend that you try different stabilizers so you know what you really like. I tend to go to wash away a lot because I don't like to tear away things. It just is too time consuming, and I just don't like it. But sometimes there's a reason for it, and so you have to know when and why you'd want to use it. I actually sprayed this with Material Magic. Material Magic is like Best Press on steroids, so it makes it super stiff. So if you use Material Magic, and sometimes I'll dump it, if I'm doing a whole panel like this, I will take the Material Magic and dump it into a bowl, dump my panel into the Material Magic, make sure it's all saturated, wring it out, let it dry, and then do it again so it gets super stiff. So I have 12 weight thread here. 12 weight thread is, and this is one of my favorite variegated threads from Wonderful. 12 weight thread is the thickest thread that you can run through your machine. So 12 weight thread. I also have it in the Glamour here, which has a little bit of glitter, because you know me, I love glitter. So I've already gotten started. I've put my free motion foot on. I prefer the free motion foot that is not enclosed. Because it's not enclosed, it's going to get caught on my threads more often. I don't care, because I'm just going to snip. If it does get caught on something, I'm going to snip and keep going. So when I'm doing leaves and different things, I kind of like to do it curvy, because Nothing in nature is super straight. So I've started back here, and I lifted, I pulled my thread from the bottom, because I don't want to nest. So I pull up my bobbin thread, and then I always sew with my needle in the down position, because if I stop, it's going to stay there, right? If I was sewing with my needle in the up position, when I stopped, the needle would go up, and then it would, the fabric would slip. I also am loving this. I used to put this little thread, this little bobbin thing. I used to shove this underneath my machine to just tilt it a little bit so I can see better. But Phyllis actually cleaned up and brought this big wooden thing. And I'm not really sure what it's for, but I love it because it is tilted kind of like a writing desk. It's tilted just enough so that I can see down without having to hunch over my machine. I think we sell those things too. I think we sell one made for sewing machines, but I'm not, I think it's out in the shop. I don't really know. So I probably should have cut this part off so I don't have to fight with so much, but I didn't. So I'm ready to start, and I'm just going to go like this, and you have to remember, and I personally don't drop my feed dogs. Uh-oh, my thread just broke. It probably needs to be cleaned. Now I can tell you what it is. So if I'm using the thicker threads, I usually do a somebody's put a different needle in here. I can tell because the eye is super small. So you want a 9014 or 116 needle in your machine, because it has a bigger eye. So here's 116. So the bigger eye is going to, one, help you to thread it easier with the 12 weight thread, but it's also not hopefully going to make your thread not break. Okay, hang on a second. Make sure you get the needle up there so it doesn't fall out, hopefully. Why are you making weird noises, Gracie?
The first one was my computer. The second one was...
Okay. So I normally would not pull my thread back out that way, except for that it had snapped inside here, so there was no way for me to get it out. You know, it's one of those things, thread should like come towards you, but sometimes it just doesn't want to. Sometimes you have to improvise. Okay, let me see if I can get this threaded with you guys watching me. Oh, look at that. It does have a needle on the side, but I'd have to read the directions, and you know, that would take me longer than just threading it. Okay. So here I am with my domestic machine. This machine, actually, somebody took a class and borrowed it, and they shoved the reverse button in so hard that they broke it. And the guy who came to service the machines, he used to make house calls. He said it wasn't really worth fixing because it was such a cheap machine. But so he wouldn't service it for $100 because he said it wasn't worth it. And so we've just been using the machine unserviced for like 8 years now. But I don't recommend that. I recommend you taking it to be serviced. So when you're doing free motion, you're the one moving your fabric. It's not like when you're quilting, just piecing, and your fabric moves along. The feed dogs pull your fabric along. Because I have this foot on, it doesn't, you can see, here it is. You got to get in close, Roger. So here my foot is up. My presser foot's down. You can barely see that it's down, but there's a lot of space under here, so it's not grasping the feed dogs underneath. So if I were to stitch right now and not move the fabric, it would just stitch all in one spot. So you have to move your fabric. Some people like to wear gloves when they do it. I get claustrophobic, so I don't like gloves. So I just move it myself. So you're going to want to kind of stitch in the same spot to secure your stitch. And then you're just going to move. And I might go in here. You can see how they've done some shading in there. I might go in with a darker thread right in there. So I'm going to come back down here and just come up to the next one. And I'm going to kind of look. I'm going to glance real quick at which way the usually people who paint and color these panels, they're real artists. I'm just a fake. So I'm going to totally cheat off where they've got the lines going so that I can make sure that my leaf is flowing in the right direction. And if I go off the green, I really don't care. Oops. That's the second time this needle has come out. I'm wondering if something is loose in the, it hasn't been serviced in 8 years. Or if my hands are just getting older and they can't like tie twist the nut tight enough. Okay, that's loose. And that is, I do have a better machine upstairs, but it's hard to get upstairs to do the demos. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to where I was. And you can tell if you don't move the thread fast, if you don't move your fabric fast enough, your thread will get kind of, you'll get longer stitches. If you move too slow, you'll get shorter stitches, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. I can't think right now. Okay, so I can see there's another leaf coming up here. So I'm just going to kind of come down here. And I'm going to come over here because I don't want to have to start and stop. So I'm just going to just throw a little bit of thread in there. Don't overthink this, okay? I will tell you in classes what happens. So I did get way off there. So I'll probably go in and rip that out, but later. The worst thing people... I think something's broken with my machine. Okay, so that's how you thread paint. I can't get this needle to stay in. I've like shoved it up there as far as I can. Maybe pliers to try to clamp it, but I should be able to get it tight. Okay, so Gracie, can you read me some comments? Your dad doesn't like to read them. So I would say the thing that students do the most when I'm teaching classes is they just overthink it. You really can't. There's no questions or comments.
Well, there's comments.
They're
saying you're not a fake.
I'm not a fake. Well, that's for sure. It's as real as it gets right here at Fabric Chicks. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And then I did, here I pinned some, I've used the Glamour 12 weight here. So when you're doing thread painting, a lot of times I want the thread to speak. That's why I'm doing it. So I'm going to use the glitter. I'm going to use the heaviest weight. I had some extra pieces from a tree or something. So I just took those little fibers and put them right here just to give it more dimension. And then here off to the side, I'm not sure why I had these, but I found these in my stash of things. Maybe I did a demo. I don't know. That's just batik fabrics or something. And so I have these. If I want to, I can add them here onto this. I could totally, I like stuff hanging off the quilts, but I could just add it, you know, like down here or something just to give it more dimension. If you, I hate to cover up my work though, so I probably wouldn't. But you could totally treat these with Material Magic and then scrunch them up, and then they'll be dimensional when you put them onto your project. So, so I always save these little leftover leaves and pieces for when I'm doing my next project. So I'm going to show you real quick a couple more. So the reason you want to practice on panels is this was a Donna Greenwald project here, this poppy. And we literally spent 2 days building those flowers. And you honestly could just take a panel and get the same effect, especially when you're just learning how to do thread painting. And then we have a couple more bedazzled panels over here. I don't normally show these except for to give you ideas because we don't have these panels anymore. So this was one of Stephanie's panels. And then I collaged, kind of like the Laura Heine collage. I found a dragonfly pattern and I created the dragonfly that I collaged. And I just appliqued it on top of one of Stephanie's big floral prints. And then here you can see I've done a dimensional double-sided flower. So there was a half a panel at the end of the bolt. There was a half a panel left over. So I used that to cut out this big flower. So I double-sided and thread painted on top of the leaf that was already there. I took another panel and did it dimensional. These have kind of been around forever, so they're kind of looking sad. You know, in and out for shows. Here's another one that we just threw some silks on it. The wash away with the threads here. Texture Magic here for the center, but I almost always leave some of the original artwork because the artwork is so pretty by itself. And then there's one more. Roger's like, oh my goodness. There's one more sunflower over here. You guys are getting a tour. It's a shit show around here for sure. If you're new to Fabric Chicks, right here, this sunflower on the bathroom at the office door. So that's another one that was a sunflower panel that we just added the silks to it to give it dimension. But I did do yarns and things here in the center. I almost always do the yarns in the center. But then here is another double-sided leaf. And the leaves are, I just kind of mimicked the leaf in the quilt and did one that was hanging off the quilt. So this one is dimensional, double-sided. So you just take 2 pieces of fabric, one on one side, fusible webbing in the center, and then thread paint it. And then this big one behind you, Roger, this big tree, it's kind of looking sad too. I need to go and restitch these leaves on. But these were the double-sided leaves, and I just made a bunch of them. And then the tree trunk itself was Texture Magic. Texture Magic actually is no longer in existence. Superior Threads made a bad batch. So Pellon now makes Fabric Magic, and you stitch on it. It's like an interfacing. You put it behind your fabric, stitch on it, And then when you steam it, it's going to shrink 30%-ish. Okay. So I do have, except for they're not finished, only because we couldn't find the green burlap I used in the sunflower. It's here somewhere. So we'll finish that as soon as we find it. But we do have embellishment kits for the sunflower. I think it's going to be enough. If you do it like I did it, it's going to be enough. If you want to embellish it even more, you're going to need more. This is the big sunflower, not the small sunflower. So we'll have all of that hopefully together for Wednesday. We do have, Gracie did these yarns. Gracie, you want to show them the yarns while I read comments? Oh, Gracie's done. She's quit already. Okay, hang on a second. Basel also has a texture magic. Oh, I'll have to check that out because I do like Basel products. Fran, you definitely do. I think the smaller ones would be great for you for tote bags because I know you like to do bags. Okay, let's see. I think, do you usually quilt the background last? So Sandy, no. The reason I don't quilt the background first is because of this project right here, Roger. So this one here, I usually quilt the background first because see how tiny and close the background sky is? And then, so I quilted the sky super, super tiny and with 100 weight thread. So it's real fine thread. So it just gives texture. You don't really see the thread. But then the trees, when I put them on, all the thread painting for the flowers and everything was already done. So you can see how it kind of poofs out because there's really no quilting behind this. So I would quilt everything first. I would quilt the background first and then apply my elements to it. That way you're going to avoid the poofiness. It's also in this one here. You can really see it. I know. It'll take me all day tomorrow just to put the shop back together. So see this, how the poppy, all that thread painting was already done. But see how it's scrunchy? I actually hate this project only because of that exact reason. So you can see back here how there's no quilting here, just a little bit like in the main sections of the quilt. I don't know if you can see that. So there's no quilting here, 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 here. And then it's like micro stippled here. So what happened is the flower is too sloppy because there's no quilting in it because the thread painting was already done before. So I would suggest that you don't have to do detail. Like if you know there's an element going to go on there, you don't have to do super detailed, but do some quilting just to secure it. I think I have a landscape quilt somewhere, but I don't know where. So back onto this. Phyllis, do you sell the tables? No, Phyllis was getting rid of it, Sue. That table that tilts my machine up, Phyllis was getting rid of it, and she brought it for me to give away. And I said, I'm not giving this away. I got to keep this for myself. I love this. Okay. Okay, where did you get the, oh, Phyllis, what a can of worms that table is. A door stopper would totally work. You just have to raise it up so that you can see it. Instead of you going like this to see it, you can see it like this. You won't, it will save your neck. Trust me, guys. Okay, I don't know if I've missed anything. Stitch and steam would be the same thing, yeah. Okay, so I do have some silks to show you guys in case you need some for your own stuff, your own collection. So we've got a dark red. This is what I used on that pillow, S119. And a lot of you don't want the 50 yards. If you don't want the 50-yard bundles, you can just put in 5 yards, 10 yards, however many you want. It is $1 a yard if we have to separate it, only because it's so time consuming because it gets all knotted up. So S119 is $22. The solids are pretty much all $22. The random variety colors, which I think is like this one. Yeah. Gracie did these for me. I'm really grateful. But this one is $16. The multicolored one's $16.
You didn't say that. You said 14.
Oh no, those are the yarns. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go real quick. S119 is the dark red. S118 is the bright red. S112 is multicolored. So you never know what you're gonna get. If you order multicolored, you could get any multicolored because I'm gonna show you how different they are. So if you see one that you love, let me know. So these are the multicolored ones. This one does have a lot of fun stuff in it, but it also has polka dots. So S112, the variety color ones, those are $16. I use a ton of the orange and the golds. S116 is the more of a gold. S118 is more of a bright yellow. And then S117 is the orange. S117 is the orange. S115 is brown. S114 is royal blue. S109 is purple. S110 is bright pink. S98 is a fun white with polka dots. And then I will show you, not today, because we're already running late. You know, Roger only likes to go 1 hour. But I will show you, I took these silks and we did we wove them and did a scarf. So I'll show you that on Monday or next Monday. Maybe I'll give you a sneak peek on Wednesday. S89 is a limey green. And then S111 is a teal. S111 is a teal color. S113 is a soft blue. And I do use black a lot. S108. I'll show these again on, maybe not. I might show these again on Wednesday so you guys have time to think about what you might want. And then these are yarns, silk yarns. So you could knit with them. I use them, I put them down and I couch them onto projects. S124 is for the orange. S123 is for the green. Yeah, this one doesn't have a number. I'm going to give it this number. The multicolored one is S127. S120 is the fuchsia colored. And again, if you want just yards and not the whole bundle, just let me know. S126 is purple. S121 is yellow. Sandy Cohen, I don't know if you're on, but if you are, I got your message. I will call you when I get to your basket because I am just running behind. S112 is 14. Lynn Jenkins, if you're on, I do have a quilt for you to pick up. Okay, so that is all that's all we have for today because Roger is ready to go watch football or something, although I think the playoffs are over, aren't they? Okay, variegated silk. Stephanie, do you want the silk ribbon or the silk yarn or both? So we have the silk ribbon. If you want it to be more predominantly a certain color, let me know and I'll try. Like this one has a lot of bright yellows, but you never know what's tucked in it. Okay, let's see. And I think okay, I'll go back and reread these tonight and look. And then Terracotta, I got your message about the spiral class. So we do have a couple of classes coming up. Tomorrow we have Heidi Emmett's vest, the tabard vest. So I will get a link out to you guys tonight. I'll get a link out tonight. The class is tomorrow and Saturday. And then she also has the refurbishing purses and the spirals. It's more of a lecture than a hands-on class. That's, I think, February 3rd. But Heidi always has 17 billion ideas. So even if you might not necessarily want to reconstruct a purse and put in fabric, you'll learn other things. So if you want to take that, let me know and we'll get you signed up for that. Let's see. Keep her videoing, Roger. Who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl, Roger?
The Niners.
The Niners.
And the Chiefs.
Oh, good. Susan says she finished her snowman quilt she got from us before Christmas. Perfect, Susan. Susan, I think that there's a box here for you that has a ruler or something in it. Charity, you can always take any of our classes that we offer. You can always, if you're local, you can come into the shop or you can do it via Zoom. We have lots of locals who like to do it via Zoom because they don't want to drag their machines out. But you can do it in the shop or via Zoom. And even if the teacher, like Heidi, is going to be doing the Zoom tomorrow from her house in California, locals can still come into the shop and spread out because, you know, we've got so much space to spread out here. Just let me know you're coming so I can get stuff cleaned up for you. Otherwise, we turn the whole back classroom into a shipping area. Go Niners. Probably, Susan. I'm not sure. Do we have your shipping info or do you want to pick it up? Or we need shipping and credit card. Jody's a Chiefs fan. Oh my gosh. I didn't know you guys were all into football. Okay. Carolyn, I think you might have a basket ready to ship. I have not really shipped very many baskets this week because I had a couple of quilts that I had to get quilted. And then I did the sunflower too. So that put me behind a little bit. Okay, Sandy, I have a note in your basket to call you. Okay. I think that is, I'm not taking the vest class because I did not get the pattern in the 27th. I have a doctor's appointment. Okay, Anne, I have a pattern in your basket, but I didn't have a note to sign you up for the class. So I can record it if you want. Otherwise, let me know, Anne. I just didn't know you were taking the class. Sorry. Okay, so that is... Wait till after Wednesday in case I buy something else. Okay. All right. I will hold on to your basket, Carolyn, but I might not hold on to everybody's baskets because some of them are overflowing. All right. Have a good night. Go get some sewing done. Like actually go sew and post it so I can see what you guys are working on. Have a good night. Go get some sewing done. Bye. Bye.